Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry it took me so long to film another vlog. After I uploaded my finding out I was pregnant video, so much has happened since then, and I have not updated YouTube, which was my full intention to do so. However, lots been happening, obviously going through pregnancy, being sick, and then we also bought a house, so we're in the process of moving. And when I went to go pull out my camera to start filming, I realized the battery was dead and I couldn't find the charger anywhere. I think I packed it. So I'm literally using my completely like broken Canon G7X. If I could show you right now, you'd laugh. It has tape all over it. The screen is like, there's cracks in it, there's lines through it, so I can't fully see what I'm even looking like right now. But it films, so we're gonna be using this. So today I kind of just wanted to share with you guys how I found out that I was having twins, which still sounds crazy to say. I'm having twins. We also do know the genders already, which at the end of this video I will play a little clip finding out what the genders are of our twins. But yeah, so I just wanted to get into this. Sorry if the camera moves around a little bit, I have to hold it. So when I think it was actually the day after I found out I was pregnant, I started spotting a little bit, and it immediately freaked me out because I've been through 2 miscarriages and any sort of blood really freaks me out. But it was very, very light, and it lasted on and off for about 4 or 5 days. But then we went to Arizona and it came back for 2 days, which was so odd to me, and I was very concerned about it. So I was getting like my blood taken to make sure my HCG was rising, and it was, so that was in the clear. And then all of that kind of stopped. And so that was around like 4 weeks. And then when I was 8 weeks pregnant, I remember this very vividly. I was sitting on the couch and I felt like a pain in my lower right abdomen. And I got up about 30 minutes later after feeling that, and it still really hurt. And I was like, what in the world? And I went to the bathroom and there was a lot of blood. It was like a light period. It was dark red blood. I'm sorry if this is TMI, but there was tissue in it. I was very, very convinced that I was having another miscarriage, and I immediately just like got so numb, and I was like, we're gonna have to do this again. And I was just so disappointed. And I remember in that moment, I immediately called for my husband and I was like, it's happening again. And he's like, no, it's not. And I'm gonna probably cry telling this story because it's crazy, but I remember crying to him, and I called my mom and I was crying, and I'm like, it's happening again. And my mom was crying on the phone with me, and I was trying to decide if I should go to the ER now or like wait a little bit, because I had just started bleeding and it was like really late at night. But I remember like after I cried and whatnot, I started to pray. Sorry if you can hear my washing machine in the background, it's very loud, something's wrong with it. But anyways, I started to pray, and I was like, you know, God, God, I'm not mad at you. I'm really confused, but I'm not mad, and I trust you, which is a total different approach than I took last time. The last time I had a miscarriage, I was mad at God, and I told God, and like I wouldn't even talk to God for a while. And so this time was a totally different approach. And when I prayed that prayer, I felt peace, but like at the same time, I just had a feeling. I was like, there's no way I'm not miscarrying right now because of how much I was bleeding. So anyways, we decided to go to the ER, and Adam stayed in the car with Haven because it was past her bedtime. She was sleeping in the car, and I just told him, just stay in there, it's fine. So I went in the ER, and immediately when I got into the ER, it was thankfully, I prayed for this too, it was so slow and there was nobody there. I was the only one in the waiting room. And the lady who took me back, she was just so nice from the get-go. She was just like, hi sweetheart, and like, I don't know, but when I'm in a vulnerable state like that and someone's nice to me, it makes me just want to cry even more, because I could tell she was like heartfelt, because she read why I was like coming in. And so she put me into a room, and she was just like seriously like an angel sent from God. I wouldn't doubt it for a second if it was, because she was so nice and so comforting. and she was just like reassuring me, like, if this is happening, it's not your fault, and like I just want you to know, like, it's gonna be okay, and like all these things. And she was trying so hard to, you know, distract me. And usually if you've never been through this, you probably wouldn't know, but when you go to the ER for like miscarriage, they do ultrasounds, and typically it's just you and the sonographer, unless you have people like with you. And but I didn't have anybody with me, and so she asked if she could be in the room with me to help me, like support me and whatnot. And of course I'm like, yeah. So she stayed in the room with me and was like literally like rubbing my leg and like telling me like, it's okay, like you're doing great, like, and you can't know what's going on the ultrasound machine, which is so hard. Like when you're going through miscarriage and like in an ER, they're not allowed to tell you anything they see on the ultrasound until like the end of the appointment. And so they were like doing stuff for a while, and I still was just like, I just want this to be over with. I just want to go home and like move on now. But so yeah, they got done with that, and then after that she left, and it had been about, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes to an hour, and she came in a few times and was like checking on me, getting me drinks and stuff. And then she comes into the room, and I will never forget this moment because total God moment. She walks in the room and she's like, Tiffany, I'm gonna need you to call your husband. And I was like, okay. And I was like kind of confused, but I called him because like once again I said he was in the car. I call him and she's like, okay. Usually the doctor reads these results, but I asked if I could read these results because I wanted to. So she sat down, grabbed my hand and she's like, Adam, are you there? And then like, okay, the anticipation was just like building. I was like, what's going on? And she goes, you are not having a miscarriage. And immediately I was like, I'm not. Like, I was so confused. She's like, no. She's like, you are actually having twins. And as soon as she said that, I can't even tell you the like disbelief that crossed my face. I was like, what? And immediately I started crying because I'm like going in thinking I'm losing a baby, and she tells me, no, you have two of them and they're perfectly healthy and they have heartbeats and they were perfectly like growing in there. And they were measuring like right on track for what I thought they should have been. And they couldn't explain the bleeding. They're like, I really don't know, like it could have been like a subhemic, I'm gonna butcher the word for it, but basically like a blood clot behind your placenta or something like that. And sometimes they burst and you can't see evidence of them. She's like, it could have been that, but she's like, I don't know, but you're having twins. And I was just, Adam was, we were both just what, like could not believe it. And she started tearing up, which made me tear up, and she was like telling me, she's like, I was praying so hard over you guys. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like little do you know, like we're Christians and like that means so much to me. And she was seriously just an angel. One day I just want to visit her and let her know like how much of an impact she made on me, because she made that moment so special for me. But that's how I found out we were having twins. It was very crazy. I got in the car immediately and we called my mom, and she was in shock. She's like, you're not joking, are you? I'm like, why would I joke about something like that? And then we called his sister because she has twins, and so like we were filling her in on everything, and it just like turned into this moment that was just so crazy. It was such a miraculous thing, and I was just like thanking God like so much. That whole night I could not go to sleep. I was crying, just thanking God, because it's like I've gone through 2 miscarriages and then I have 2 babies, and it's double for my trouble, and I just can't believe it. Still can't believe it. I'm currently, as you're watching this, I am 15 and a half weeks, and the babies are doing great. And when we were in Arizona, we went to my parents' church, and I asked if they could pray over me because I was really nervous about being pregnant again. because of the miscarriages and all that stuff, and I believe in the power of prayer, and I was like, the more people that can pray over me, the better. And they prayed over me, and I felt God during that prayer, and they prayed for the anointing to be upon my womb, and I was holding on to the promise of that prayer. Like, I had faith that, like, I felt God and that things were going to be okay. And then, so I was so confused when I started bleeding, but then I was just like, wow, like, you really anointed my womb. You gave me 2 babies. And that, like, just this whole experience and that prayer is, like, what I'm still clinging on to. Anytime I get fearful of things, I hold on to that, and I'm like, God's gonna see this through. And it's just so wild to see, like, what he's done. And I am over the moon. Like, I didn't think I'd ever want twins. That was never crossed my mind. But then as soon as I found out I was having them, I was so excited and so happy. Like, I can't even tell you. It's just crazy. So we're thrilled. We're having twins. And yeah, I'm gonna play the clip now, finding out the genders. I think we're having a boy and a girl. What do you think?
I think a boy and a girl, but I sense like a girl, boy scenario.
We'll see.
I don't know.
Oh, here he comes. He's mine. Winnie, come here! Come here, Winnie!
It's another girl. Hi, Winnie.
I was like, wait.
I guess girl.
Yeah, you said girl, what do you think? Well, here we go.
Wow.
2 girls.
Crazy. We have a girl family.
Wow. 2 girls.
Crazy.
What? You guys
Look at this.
You got 2 Cece.
Crazy.
Okay, so we are being blessed with 2 little girls. So we have a house full of girls. If you don't know, I have a daughter. So we're gonna just be a house full of girls, and I couldn't be more thrilled about it. I've had people ask if I was like disappointed at all that there wasn't any boys, and to be honest, no. Like, I'm actually very thrilled to have a house full of girls. I never had sisters growing up. My mom never had sisters. I'm just excited to go through this, and obviously this is what God wants for us, and I'm so, like, feel blessed to be able to be put in this position to raise these girls up in the way of God and tell them every day of how they're miracles. And I am just so thankful. I want to thank everybody. Like, I know there was a lot of people praying for me, and I just want to thank you guys, and please just continue to do so. They are fraternal twins, and I am the lowest of the high risk within the twin sector. So they say that the babies probably, you know, have a good chance at not coming until 37, 38 weeks, which is great. I want to avoid NICU time at all costs possible. But yeah, we're having twins, we're moving. My next video is actually going to be me showing you around our new house and moving in, because we start moving in tomorrow. And there's just so much exciting stuff, and I like the gratitude that I feel. It's crazy because we went through such like a hard season before all of this. I'm sorry I'm pregnant, so I'm really emotional over everything. But we went through a really hard season before this, and I feel like God's just pouring his favor on us now. And it just feels, I don't feel deserving of it, but it feels just like incredible. And like, I just feel so thankful to God, and I'm making sure to thank him in every single moment because he's so good. And I just want to let you know, if you're out there and you're struggling with miscarriage or infertility or anything, like, don't lose hope. Cling to God. He will answer your prayers in ways you'll never expect. And just because times seem hard right now, they're not going to stay that way. And God is just good. I just recommend you put your full trust and faith in him. It makes it so much easier to get through these times. And he will never let you down. Yeah, that's my story. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.